Hold a moment. You may visit the palace and its shrine, but be warned. The Queen meets with trading company Vipers. Take care you are not bitten. You will find her in her throne room through the door behind me. Inform the guards of your purpose. Whether the Queen will hear you above the baying of her guests is another matter.
While I am flattered by the esteemed Hazanui's confidence, I must wonder how my people are meant to have destroyed an entire colony overnight.
You tell us. It's no coincidence that your outpost at Port Mage survived the recent storm.
You speak as if I could command the tides, while you are casting your blame in a wide net. Why not look to our Kahanga allies? We do not share their talent for shaping water.
I say our guest forgets himself.
Brother, stand down. You are the one who mistakes my throne room for a sparring arena. I say this is beneath us. An interesting visitor in difficult times. You cannot be here to deliver a favorable omen. Allow me to apologize as I toss you before the wolves. This one is a watcher blessed by Tangaloa. I suspect that many of our questions about Hasongo will soon be answered.
She has a keen eye, my sister. Keener than your shooter's bird, Hazanui.
Don't listen to Amishi.
Among her other qualities, the Kahanga Queen can speak for herself.
One of our busiest ports. Much of the food we send to Rawatai passes through Hasongo. I take it from your question that you are not here to enlighten us about Hasongo.
I know this one. His parlor tricks frightened 10 years of every sailor in Queen's Birth.
We assembled to discuss the darkening of Hasongo, one of Rawatai's colonies. Watcher, it seems you have the floor.
What sailor's tale is this?
There's no sane explanation for what's been happening. You keep waiting for one, it'll be too late.
Does tilling the soils of the Eastern Reach drive all men mad? You sound as crazy as the Dawnstar Dreamers.
Have you not heard the rumors, Karu? An Adra Colossus marching across the sea. Sailor tales, but credible ones.
How came a watcher from half the world away to be involved in these happenings? Enlighten the court. tracking down a god who stands as tall as a mountain. A fisherman with poor eyesight could do this. My priests will trip over their feet to interpret his divine plan. Watcher, can you cut through the din and tell for what he comes to the Deadfire? How resourceful of you. The Isles are studded with enough luminous Adra to bankroll an economy. I believe our course is clear. We will send the Watcher to Hisongo. Set sail to the west of Nekataka. I would tell you to keep a weather eye out for a lighthouse, but the God of Light did not appreciate competition. Something to add, Hazanui? You have an eager look about you. She believes herself entitled to my ear, I say.
Only that Hisongo is a Rawatayan outpost. It would be useful for the Watcher to take one of ours along.
Ma'am.
Maya's an expert sailor and a better sharpshooter. The best the Brass Citadel has to offer. Whatever comes your way, she'll see it first.
If it gets me and Ashiza out of diplomat duty, we'd set sail with a drunk scolder at the helm.
Ak, perfito. Do you mean to stop Eothas by shooting him? Seri Palagina will go with the Watcher. Show him how the Republics handle things.
Your Excellency, Palagina Messerai has been banished? She has been seen in Queen's Berth. I can have her report to headquarters.
You should feel no obligation to take on additional crew. The choice is yours.
Say the word and I'll shoot the tip off a green boy's nose.
You're making a mistake, Watcher. In times like these, trustworthy allies are the most valuable asset of all.
Calm down, Nero. I'm sure you'll get one of your spies in place eventually. In the meantime, Watcher, I hope you'll meet me in the Brass Citadel. There's more for us to discuss among friendlier company.
I believe we are finished here. Are we? Aren't we popular? Take care at Hisongo. The Deadfire was overfull before Aethys blundered in. Your allies will use you toward any end. Do not give your trust lightly.
I say it is beyond time our guests lick their wounds somewhere else. While we have the chance. Your coming is a favorable omen already. You happen by a time when our rivals bicker and tear at each other's throats. It does not take a priest to see how the gods send us an outsider to dig under the skin of our enemies. Save your manners for my sister. Kohopa fashioned me for the arena, not the court. I will not paddle around the island. My sister wants to know if you are as useful as you are disruptive. She trusts me to judge this. You did not come this far to serve the crown, I say, but sailing is an expensive hobby. Loyal service can keep your galley stocked. My sister keeps a tight grip on Nekataka, but the filth of it drips down her palm and into the gullet. Under our noses, I say, do foreigners smuggle contraband and pay the Raparu for their silence? Take this if you need proof. Akira, you are sharper than my guards for knowing this, I say. An envoy ship sank a day's voyage out of Nekataka. He wore that on his breast. My guards recovered it in a raid of the gullet. This confirms my suspicion. Nekataka has a pirate problem. Smugglers and thieves cluster like rats in Delver's Row, a growth in the bowels of our city. I want someone to peddle the medallion to the black market, earn the trust of these pirates, and learn how supplies come into my city. It will depend on what you find, I say. Onikaza leaves this for me to handle. While she worries about the manor, I tidy up the basement. Yours is not a face that others will recognize. Let no one learn that you work for the crown. When you travel down the mountain, seek Tekehu in Pariki's overlook. He is a godlike, one who the people look to for hope. Ngati's chosen knows of our troubles. He could also use a lesson in Raparu modesty. Tekehu was touched by the goddess Ngati at birth. He is as much a creature of the sea as he is Hawana. We are left to interpret what the goddess intends by sending him among us. Hawana look up to Ngati's chosen, even as he looks down on them. That sort of attention opens more doors than it closes, I say. Akira, if I know Tekehu, he is stirring tempers in the Water Shapers Guild. Be on your guard in the gullet. I fear the caverns run deeper than even Ngati could guess.
Not a problem. heard of anything like that before.
What do you need of me? Well? I am the son of a disgraced noble family. My father and brothers were executed for treason when I was a boy. Rightfully so, I must add. And my mother, sister, and I were thrown out on the street. All we had to our names was a trunk full of heirlooms. One of them was this suit of armor, which belonged to my eldest brother. Now I endeavor to live up to its promise and redeem my family's honor. That's the long and short of it, really. I suppose it is. Are you familiar with the shield bearers of St. Elka? We are a paladin order. The order began as guards for Elka, a noblewoman emissary of Kulkin, who bartered for peace with the kingdom of Vadir. The order's founders were forbidden to bring weapons to the meeting, and she was attacked. With only their shields to aid them, they fought off her attackers and brought her to safety. She later died of her wounds, and the shield bearers of St. Elka were born in her memory. I am the son of a disgraced noble family. All we had to our names was a trunk full of heirlooms. That's the long and short of it, really. Well, you would need to become a shield bearer yourself to really learn it all. I suppose I can teach you a thing or two as we stand here. The privilege will run you 3,000 copper, however. As you like.
Ishi, quiet time.
He pays coin to feed the great eel. He smells one touched by the great eel, does Barati. You are a man who sits across a fire with death, Akira. For glutting mighty Tangaloa and hurling foes into their next life, Barati can offer payment. Coins for feeding hungry gods. Akira? Rewarding those who appease the great eel. This is Barati's cause. May the beasts of the Dreaming Lands never know famine. Tangaloa rolls a hungry eye toward Dichila, a Valian captain who scouts for luminous Adra in sacred lands. Akira, Tangaloa knew it would be so. Dichila sails her Voyager Alicio around the waters south of Nikitaka. The great eel hungers for her soul. Ask, but do not keep the great eel waiting.
You songwriters need a guild if you hope to learn discipline.
Not so. We speak in the tongue of Ngati and Amira. Your pretty dances may upset the puddle, but we command the wind and sky.
Hey, I have missed our little talks.
Akira.
consider it done.
You make a habit of turning up uninvited. Kahopa, Tangaloa. Welcome, our guest.
Watch out. When these things lick, well, I hope for your sake you're not ticklish.
You travel with a brave crew, Watcher. Nothing to fear, I say. If a queen cannot wrangle two cats, what right has she to the Deadfire? There are many leagues between here and Hasongo. I trust you have packed for the journey. Then look, take in every delight within reason, but do not waste my time. The boldness of foreigners.
Oh, now I've dreamed of this place.
Hello there! Come to have a word? I don't bite, I promise. Yes? Gladly, my friend, gladly, and how kind of you to ask. I am the youngest son of a noble house. Now, don't make that face. Poor, desperate fool, you must be thinking. Well, waste not your sympathies on me. Truly, I consider it a boon rather than a punishment. All the comfort and none of the responsibility. What's not to like about that? What else brings faraway travelers to the archipelago? Adventure. I've nursed a great love for heroic tales since my boyhood. As I was loafing about my father's estate, I thought, well, Gervard, isn't it time you made a name for yourself as well? So here I am. And though I dare say I'm little use in a fistfight, I can do a fair bit of magic and draw a lovely map. So I've taken to charting the interior wilderness of the Deadfire's larger islands. Ah, but it's worth it for the stories I'll one day have to tell. But truly, if I could only inspire others as I myself have been inspired by those old tales, why, it would be marvelous. Anyway, enough of my prattling. Surely you've other things to do. Farewell!
Not a problem.
Hunter or prey?
So, it will be you, then. Then, I owe you an apology. I have collected many foes over the years. Some of them would sprint up the mountain to see me push through the jaws of the Great Eel. You do not recognize the great huntress of the archipelago? Ah, the candle of infamy burns too bright and too fast. As Nungata Whale Splitter, I cleared the jungles and seas alike of slippery creatures. I earned my foes later, when I hunted a deadlier prey. Akira, often. I was a bounty hunter. It's been years since I tossed a harpoon, so now I stay abreast of what bounties need filling. That's Mataru retirement for you. Interested in taking up the trade, are we? I warn you that I deal in the heads of the exceptionally dangerous. A lady needs standards, after all. You assume right, Hunter. Let's cut your teeth on clever Bena, infamous dwarf mystic of the obscured. A scavenger, I say. Picks off those who trust her for an evening, and then pockets their coin when she's bled them out. Bena was seen traveling on an island due southwest of Osongo. Ask away, Hunter. I miss traveling across the archipelago, answering to no one but my empty belly and purse. But this is a younger woman's game. Better that I step aside and make way for aspiring killers. Akira?
Do you seek companionship on your travels across the Deadfire? Why not take a little friend along? We have many animals on offer, all well-trained and eager for a new home. Akira, you are sure to find one that suits you.
I'll have this open in no time. as promised.
Dim in the lantern.
Ready when you are. Need a hand?
I know exactly what you're thinking. You're asking yourself, how did I let the Royal Deadfire Company plant an informant in my crew? My superiors might expect me to report in from time to time, but don't read too much into it. You're not the only big thing happening around here. I'm in this for a lot of information, a little diplomacy, and plenty of target practice. Better that you hear it from me than someone else, right? The company isn't in the business of reassigning officers outside of the mission unless they've got a damn good reason. And you are a damn good reason. Take the compliment. Then I look forward to seeing how long it takes before you find yourself in someone's back pocket. Oh, guess you ought to meet the bird. Ishi is smarter than he looks, but don't expect him to do any tricks. Ishi, come.
That's a good-looking bird. Hey, Birdie. Hey, Birdie.
Takes practice before he'll listen to you properly, but that's a good start. Did your friend suffer a head wound? Before we get into deeper waters, I've got a question. You've got a ship and a title. Being captain means more than just wearing a big hat. A lot of tough calls to be made. A crew can be like family. They can also be like a nest of squalling infants. Let's say your galley cook was fixing to organize the rest of the crew into a mutiny. How would you handle it? Sort it out as equals. Interesting. Of course, the only right answer is the one that works in a given time and place. I just wanted to hear yours. Stranger things have happened at sea, believe me. But enough about me. Glad to be aboard, Captain. I've got some answers. Sure am. And I heard that you two spent some time together. Funny how the gods toss things together. I heard tell that Kana sailed off in search of whatever he didn't find in the Deerwood. They say he lit a fire under the Ranganui to speed up the taming of the Deadfire. You clearly had some sway on his opinions, more than I ever did. Wish you had told Kana to give up on the poetry. He's got no ear for it. You kept him alive in any case, while he wandered the lands in search of stories. I do with bullets what Kana did with words. Just in case you were wondering, the comparison ends there. I won a shooting competition at the Ranganui's estate. This was a few years before enlisting with the Navy. As a reward, he gave me the freedom of the Royal Eyrie and said I could take my pick of the warbirds. Stinkfeathers here kicked a rather pretty hawk off my arm so he could have me all to himself. Been inseparable ever since. Uh-oh. That's his "I'm hungry and you're wasting my time" face. Better step back, Captain. Well, my parents came from the Deadfire. I'm getting a taste of my roots. After they immigrated to Rawatai, their talents caught the Ranganui's eye. He saw them as this spectacle, this achievement of the old country, I guess. So they were honored guests. Not many Huana rose to distinction in Takoa. We were also curiosities. Even as we broke the same bread and tossed back the same wine, the Ranganui's friends always checked under the table to see if I had a tail. Kana thought it was hilarious. You're telling me. Growing up in the Ranganui's shadow wasn't all bad. We had tutors and advisors at our disposal, and lots of folk from stranger parts than these. I spent my days learning to shoot, while my more academic siblings learned to express themselves. I leave you to judge who spent their time better.
Leave it to me. Yeah?
You were saying? You were saying?
No one to check up on her, I guess.
There you are. And what kept you? Why should I wait so long for Rikuhu's messenger? Or have you come as Bareth's usher? The foreigners twist even our gods. Should you not be a dwarf? Akira, I have not met one before. Nor will I again, I think. But you are here to take me away, are you not? Well, I refuse to go. Never will I move from this place until justice is done. I follow Magrin's way. Yet sickness took me before my time. I died alone and without honors. It must be put right. My body cannot be left here to rot, forgotten. I feel it there like an itch. I have been many things. And in performing my duties, I brought honor to my caste and to my kin. A sea captain. A great explorer, trusted advisor to the Queen herself. Now, that is before I left the sea for the mountains, to make maps and guide others. Chief Navigator, that is what I made of myself. I can see nothing in this place of death but distant lights. But I feel I must be close to where I died. I have not taken one step since the darkness came. The sickness, days of it, lying in my own filth as the disease withered me. I passed from wakefulness to sleep with every breath. But I knew at once when it was over. Of course. Some kind of mistake was made, and now Magrin will put it right. I thank you
Please, search my home. My body cannot be far. Have you found it? Akira, I hope I have not rotted away. Yes. To think, a Mutaru of the Kahanga tribe left to die alone and forgotten. Unthinkable. No, not so difficult now that you are here to carry my body. Take my body to the Temple of Magrin in the Sacred Stair. There is a great fire there that burns eternally. Burn my body there, so that it may be dedicated to Magrin in death. I cannot pass from this life until all is in order. Of course. When all is done, Magrin will light a path for me. Or else, if I must face a final test of my navigator's skill, I will impress her. I will follow your light. The brazier waits in the Sacred Stair.
Did Kana ever get to meet Ishi?
Briefly. It didn't go well.
Really? And Kana always seemed agreeable to me.
Oh, you weren't there for the White Flood. Ishi can purge his whole intestine at once if he's feeling ornery. Kana never wore that hat again.
Greetings, and welcome to my home. For what do you come to my villa?
Nice house. Be a shame if someone nudged it over the mountainside.
You Rowattians have the strangest sense of humor.
have this open in no time. As promised. Not a problem. Let's see what's in here. That'll do it.
Your orders? Ishi. Quiet time. Not a problem, Captain. I'm listening. Give me the order. Your orders? Ishi. Quiet time. Still as a pond.
Ready when you are.
Myself in a rather perilous situation with a band of Darghouls.
Darghouls can be real nasty. You're lucky that's all you got to show for it.
I certainly gave them.
Not exactly my area of expertise.
true home, not Smelly Mountain. What you want? Arkemir doesn't let worthless idiot outside after worthless idiot sprayed dung on stupid tablet. But Arkemir not home. So worthless idiot watches the ships come in, looks at all the tasty gulls. Those Arkemir's big words. Gave name, but worthless idiot no understand. That's so? Worthless idiot should ask Stinkfoot or Catbreath what they say. How often you beat your crew, huh? I joined crew? I joined crew!
Tekehu, you have shirked your duties for the last time, I say.
Guildmaster, be reasonable. I skipped one lecture to travel up the mountain. Still, the palace is closed until you present me before Onikaza.
You went alone. I asked for patience, but as usual, you make a trench out of a tide pool.
This should be over soon. My patience wears thin, old shark. You have stifled me enough for one trip through Rakuhu's bowels.
I say Ngati weeps at her petulant spectacle of a child. For a water shaper who treasures his duty to the goddess, you spend too many days cavorting at the brothel.
Ugh, insufferable. Did you need something? Or is it enough to bask in perfection? I had not expected the prince to respond so quickly. Serpent's crown is under pressure, I say. And what exactly did Prince Aruihi tell you? Black market? This has nothing to do with my problem. Unless... the prince did not mention anything about water shapers? I had thought the guild would be his first concern. It seems I was wrong. Because of what I told him in confidence. Now, let us speak of this somewhere else. One can never tell who is listening. To the gullet, then. A watcher. And here I am, used to being the freak of Pariki's Overlook. Outside of the Mataru priests, we don't get many spirit readers. You are not unknown to me, I say. Whispers of an Adra Colossus reach my ears. And louder whispers of a corpse who follows him. What will you do when you catch up to this walking god? As do many mortals in the Deadfire, it seems the gods are no different. If it untangles me from the guild's apron strings, then you can mount me as the figurehead of your fair ship. Our quarters may smell of fish before long, but your crew will be more beautiful by association, I say.
No one's ever called me beautiful before.
Lead on. It will be good to put some distance between myself and the guild, even if we find less savory places along the way. A fair warning, Captain. Ngati gifted her favorite son with more than his stunning complexion. Good guess. Only for as long as, well, I say you will learn. In time.